Welcome back. Today I'd like to answer a simple question. How much peanut butter does it take to make the perfect peanut butter ice cream? Peanut butter is about 50% fat and 25% protein by weight, so my plan is to start with a very basic recipe and leave out any major sources of fat and add more peanut butter each time until I'm satisfied with how peanut buttery it is. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. For each batch, I'm using 50 grams of sugar, a pinch of salt, and about a quarter teaspoon of guar gum. I want each recipe to include 100 grams, 200 grams, and 300 grams of peanut butter, but adding more and more peanut butter is going to increase the total volume of the recipe, and I'd rather keep waste to a minimum. To accommodate, I plan to reduce the total amount of milk that I'm adding to each recipe by about the volume of the additional peanut butter. But how many milliliters is 100 grams of peanut butter? I always measure peanut butter by weight because, frankly, it's a mess to do it any other way. So the best that I came up with was to melt the peanut butter in a pot, then pour it into the 1 cup measure that was zeroed on a scale. But before committing to that many dishes, I had the good sense to just Google it. Apparently 100 grams of peanut butter is equal to 98.6 milliliters, which is close enough to round up to 100. That makes things easy. I'm starting with 3 cups of milk for the 100 gram batch, and plan to reduce the milk by 1/2 cup each time, meaning I use 2.5 cups for the 200 gram batch, and 2 cups of milk for the 300 gram batch. This left me with 97 grams of leftover from the 100 gram batch, 116 grams of leftover from the 200 gram batch, and somehow only 42 grams left over from the 300 gram batch. I'm not really sure what happened here. I used a spatula to get everything out of the pot each time, and I would have expected more than double the amount of leftovers from the third batch. Maybe I added a little more to the Creami container than I thought. And for anyone curious what I did with the excess, I drank them. Why do you think I weighed them in a glass? Come on, it's warm milk, peanut butter, and sugar. You could also add it to a hot chocolate if the mood strikes you. I won't judge. We should probably talk about the process I'm using to combine the ingredients. The sugar, guar gum, and salt will have no trouble dissolving into the milk, but peanut butter can be difficult. I've tried everything I can think of to get peanut butter to incorporate into milk for things like milkshakes and hot chocolate, and in my experience, the only option is heat. You could probably do this in a microwave, but I like being able to constantly stir, so I'm using a pot. You don't need it to come to a full boil, just heat it on medium-low and keep stirring until everything comes together, the peanut butter melts, and there's some steam coming off. Once they'd cooled for about 10 minutes, I gave them another stir and then poured them into the container. Now this is where something interesting happened. For some reason, the first batch mostly separated back into peanut butter and milk, while the other two stayed homogeneous. While this could mean that you need to hit a certain peanut butter saturation point to get it to bind with milk, I think it was more likely just user error. I've gone over the footage, and I think the first batch just needed a little more heat to fully melt the peanut butter. You can see little bits settling out as I'm pouring it into the Creami container, and it looks like there was a little more steam coming from the second and third batches when I took those off the element. If I had noticed in time, I could have saved it by putting it back on the pot and reheating it, but hindsight is 20/20, so learn from my mistake. In my last ice cream video, I asked the YouTube comments section to tell me their tips and tricks to get the tops to freeze flat, and you delivered. There were all kinds of suggestions about freezer temperatures, putting the container on the door instead of the shelf, and a few saying I should flatten the top with a spoon after it's been in the freezer for the first hour. But the one that worked the best was to leave the lids off for the first 24 hours. I don't really understand why this works, but doing it fixed my problem completely, so no more scraping and reshaping the tops for me. Let's talk about how these turned out. As I mentioned earlier, the 100 gram batch did separate into 2 layers, and after sending it through the ice cream cycle, they clearly hadn't mixed with each other. The peanut butter was kind of powdery and crumbly, and the ice cream below was way too soft. I ran the outside under hot water for about 20 seconds, then sent it through the remix cycle to see what would happen, and it did a pretty good job of mixing the peanut butter throughout. I thought about spinning it a third time, but peanut butter swirl seemed like a fair compromise since the other 2 batches didn't separate. The texture wasn't awful, but it did have some ice crystals throughout. I think because the milk never fully bound to the fat in the peanut butter, the water in the milk was able to freeze out, causing an unpleasant texture that only happened to this batch. I'd give it a 3 out of 10 on texture and a 3 out of 10 on taste. The idea of peanut butter swirl sounded good, but because it was swirled with nothing flavored icy frozen milk, well, you get the idea. If everything had mixed correctly, I still think it would have come out too bland, but it might be worth trying this recipe again with some added protein or some other ingredients in a future video. The 200 gram batch really blew me away. When it came out of the Creami and I saw the top layer, I thought about sending it through the remix cycle, but after poking around with a spoon, I realized I didn't need to. I don't know how to explain it, but of all the ice creams that I've made so far, this one scoops the best. The texture was a solid 8 out of 10. I'm not sure if it was because of the stabilizers in the peanut butter or just the sheer amount of fat, but it didn't seem to melt too quickly, and it really felt like I was eating store-bought ice cream in a good way. I'd give the taste 7 out of 10. As someone who likes to eat peanut butter straight out of the jar, this just needed a little bit more. Extra salt would have helped as well, and I actually ended up eating mine with a little sprinkle of salt on top. I'm not sure how adding too much salt affects the texture of ice cream, and not everyone likes as much salt as I do, so I don't mind adding a little to my own bowl. And finally, the 300 gram batch. Have you ever been so sure that something is a bad idea, but you've already committed to it, and I mean, the peanut butter's already in the pot, we've got this far. We might as well try, right? Well, that's how I felt from the time that I scooped 300 grams of peanut butter into 2 cups of milk, until the moment this ice cream hit my tongue. 9 out of 10 on flavor, 10 once I added a pinch of salt on top, and I'm just going to say it, 10 out of 10 on texture as well. While it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing ice cream I've ever made, and the 200 gram version looked more presentable, I can't deny that this was the best peanut butter ice cream I have ever had, bar none. I went back for more the next day, and unlike some of the other ice creams I've made so far, this was still very scoopable, and was more similar to how the 200 gram version looked and behaved fresh out of the Creami. Unfortunately, I didn't record myself eating the rest of it, so you'll just have to take my word for it. So in summary, using 100 grams of peanut butter to 3 cups of milk still has potential, and I might come back to it to add some more ingredients to it in a future video. Using 200 grams of peanut butter to 2.5 cups of milk was really good. I think anyone who likes but doesn't love peanut butter would find it satisfying, but I would consider adding a little extra salt to bring out the peanut flavor. And using 300 grams of peanut butter to 2 cups of milk was by a wide margin my favorite. If you're someone like me who likes to eat a spoonful of peanut butter straight out of the jar now and then, this is the ice cream for you. Just like the 200 gram batch, I would either add more salt to the recipe or serve with a light sprinkle on top just to really bring out the peanut flavor. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me try this again with peanut butter powder, and maybe see if I can make a low-fat version. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more homemade food. See you next time.